I'm gonna start asking questions at 800. But below that, I'm not even looking at you in your face. I'm not even gonna acknowledge that you're there, right? Because that's how much I really despise this paint drying on the wall game, because I find Destiny extremely boring. It's corny, it's dull. People love it. It has a huge fan base. I absolutely know that, right? But to me, I hate the game. Can't stand it, right? So that's an obvious con. But I'm not that short-sighted to evaluate a whole acquisition based on the current game that they're making and supporting. I don't like it. Obviously, there's way more to an acquisition than that. So let's keep going. Con, obviously, like I said, I hate Destiny. The next thing is that I hate is this promotes the back and forth arms race. Now, like I said, they're not a publisher, right? They published Destiny 2, but they're really not a publisher. They're a developer. That was their first time publishing a game, right? So even though that, like, I hate this, I'm okay with anybody buying developers. You know, Microsoft bought up, like, before the Bethesda and before the Activision thing, when they bought, like, I don't remember how much it was, like, what, 15 studios or something like that? 15 developers? I'm like, that's fine. I don't care. Buy as many studios as you want. Like, I'm all for that. That's great. No problem. Like, to me, and I've said this multiple times, is when you start buying up publishers is when that gets a little bit weird to me, even though I was completely fine with Microsoft buying Bethesda, because Bethesda was failing and flailing in the wind, and their games needed to be saved, right? So I was fine with that. But like I said, I just don't want this publisher arms race going back and forth. And I honestly hate the conversation when I go on Twitter. I hate when the conversation is just mainly about acquisitions. I actually had the word acquired, acquisition, any form of it, muted. I had it muted.
Ha ha ha.
For a long time, and I'm talking about, like, when I'm talking about all that, because Sony acquired, like, what, 5 studios last year. I got tired of hearing about acquisitions, so I muted the whole word. Of course, it's still, you still saw a post about it, but I just got tired about the conversation. I want the conversation when I go on Twitter to be mainly about the games, but people get obsessed with the whole acquisition conversation, and that got on my nerves. And I want the industry to be more about like the games and stuff like that, and not this back and forth arms race about acquiring whatever, right? So that's another con. Also, this seems to be more of a business move for me, in my view, more than it is for the player, right? It's because I just don't really see what this necessarily does directly for the PlayStation gamer, right? It could. Right at this moment, I don't see what it does for the PlayStation gamer. And I'm going to read some of the quotes that they mentioned about how they're approaching this. All right, so let me read this article from IGN. I got a bunch of was open. But as it says, Sony Interactive Entertainment announced that it will require Destiny developer Bungie for $3.6 million. GamingIndustry.biz reports that the following deal, Bungie will be ran as an independent subsidiary of SIE and will remain a multi-platform studio with the option to self-publish as they're doing now and reach players where they choose to play, right? You could break down that whole sentence itself, and it could mean a bunch of different things. So pretty much, obviously they're not going to remove Destiny from any platform that it's on. I didn't expect that, and I don't think they should, right? As far as future IPs, and I've been told they're working on a new game that we don't know about right now. That's up in the air because they are. Yeah, it actually says it right here. The company is also working on a new IP. And free, and free, and free, and free, free, and free, and free, free, and free, and free, and. But apparently Sony, if this is true, Sony is leaving it up to Bungie to remain autonomous and decide where they want to put their games and reach players where they choose to play, which is kind of strange, which is not something Sony usually does. At least for future projects, we don't question, right, when Sony has ownership, if something is going to be multi-plat or exclusive.
I love it. rich nigga. I love it.
That seems to be up in the air right now. But my point, like I said, going back to my original bullet, was like, hey, I just don't necessarily see what it does for the PlayStation gamer right now. Right? Okay, it just seems to be more for business. Destiny's a big game. A lot of people play it. It makes money. It seems mostly to be a business move as of right now. The next thing is, so. Well, that's really all my cons, right? I don't like Destiny. I don't like the back and forth arms race. It seems to be more of a business move right now, right? I see some people saying like, "Oh, Bungie is washed." I don't agree with that. It's a waste of time and money. I don't agree with that. I don't know where the sentiment that Bungie is washed. Like I have no reason to believe that.
His ass cut. There you go.
Garbage.
Garbage.
Something else.
Garbage.
Right? I don't like Destiny. Like I said, you can't pay me to play Destiny, right? I don't think it's a fun game, right? I don't think the loop of the game is good. But I don't think Destiny is like categorically trash. Like it's just a bad game. I just think the play design, I guess, and the loop of the game is bad. I don't think it's fun. I don't think it's enjoyable. It's just not that for me. I guess I don't even really enjoy most looter shooters. But I absolutely believe if Bungie designed some other type of game that outside of that genre that they would make something of quality. I have no reason to believe that they're a bad developer, right? And I don't think anybody.
Fuck! Fuck! Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga. Bitch ass nigga. I'm not gonna about here. is. I swear to God. Listen, man, I'm good, man. Boss. Y'all can have some. April's the day, man. April's coming out. April, that nut. Man, I got my other cornrows on deck. If my partner comes with the logo, the design, then we take it off. I had it. I got bills to pay, man. I need someone. That's my nigga.
Nobody has ever named Bungie a bad developer. They made the best Halo games, right? And you can make the argument, yeah, that was a while ago, right? Because that was from 2001 to 2010, right? Cool. But they still made the best Halo games. You can argue whether or not that staff is there or not. Like Destiny is what it is. Like I said, it's not my type of game. I hate it for what it is, but it's not like this bad quality game, right? Which leads me into the pros, because I do think there are pros of this acquisition, right? So Bungie is 600 developers as of 2019. They had 600 developers. I saw somewhere that they said Bungie actually has 800 developers right now. Like I said, I don't know if that's true, but you could probably assume that if they had 600 developers in 2019, they grew from then. So that's a pro for me, because there are studios that are like 300 developers that work on multiple projects, 2, even sometimes 3. If you got 600 to 800 developers, you should definitely be working on 300 projects. 3 projects at a time, and you should be able to hit. That's 800 developers is really like 3 studios, depending on the scale of the project you're working on. So that's something that excites me, right? If you're working on something non-Destiny or multiple things that are non-Destiny, and we know you have experience in the multiplayer field of things because of Destiny and because of Halo,